Well, schools reopened today with fresh precautions against COVID-19, including a leave of absence for those who travelled during the March holidays. The Education Ministry says fewer than 10% of students and staff will have to observe an LOA or stay-home notice, and the affected numbers are manageable. Deborah Wong with more.
Over at schools across the island, students broke out in small groups in classrooms or spaced out their tables, such as during exams. They were also assigned seats in the canteen. Schools are taking additional precautions like these to fight the current pandemic. Education Minister Ong Kang says that while schools seem quieter, with some students having to stay away for 2 weeks, they've taken the new measures in their stride. Schools will also hire more relief teachers during this period if needed. It's a similar scene at preschools. Children here now sleep far apart during nap time. But this preschool actually started taking measures weeks ago, even before safe distancing came to the spotlight.
Before the COVID-19 broke in such a big way, we were already doing temperature taking 3 times a day. We just increased it to 5 times a day. So currently I have 4 people who are not in the center on our self-imposed self-isolation measure. People who do extra hours will be given time off when the rest come back.
Toys are now bundled up to minimize shared contact, though it can be hard to keep kids apart during playtime. But for the over 20 primary school children enrolled in its after-school programs, it manages to ensure safe distancing by splitting the group into 2 rooms.
The preschool also has an infant care center in this block. Now, previously, teachers taking care of the older children can come here to take care of infants. But with precautionary measures in place, teachers are now segregated. Now, food prepared for them in the other block has to be left outside here to prevent cross-contamination.
Over at Eaton House, children are now broken up into smaller groups of 6 to 10, and activities are carried out in different corners. It says it urged staff weeks ago to defer non-essential travel, which is why not many have been issued a leave of absence or stay-home notice.
We do have a couple of families who are on LOA or SHN or is living with somebody who is on those notice as well. What the school has done as an additional measure is to request for these families to maybe take a self-imposed LOA for their children instead of coming back to school to monitor their health at home.
Staff have also stopped moving across Eaton House's various centres, and external meetings are now held via video calls. And if prospective parents wish to tour the campus, these visits will be held on Saturdays when children are not around.
Meanwhile, the International Baccalaureate, or IB, has cancelled exams in May due to the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 20 schools here will be affected, including the Singapore Sports School. The rest are mainly private or international schools. The organisation said it made the decision after seeking advice from schools and students across the globe. It added that affected students will be awarded a diploma that reflects their standard of work based on their coursework.